Forms of specialist ski troops are too fast and fit for the ill-clad Wehrmacht. Hitler's furious order to hold advanced positions is meaningless. German troops can only fall back in astonished disarray as Army Group Center, the juggernaut that was to crush Moscow, is smashed apart. After 6 months of catastrophic defeats, the Red Army's hard-fought victory is undeniable. By the 20th of December, Panzer General Guderian is informing Hitler that his troops can no longer fight. And as the year closes, Soviet towns and villages west of the capital are being freed from their brief Nazi occupation. There will be more sweeping Soviet victories, but none will burn more brightly than this first astounding recovery from the brink of defeat. Each community, liberated by their blood and bullets, lights a fire of hope in Soviet hearts. And every kilometer recovered pushes the enemy further from Stalin's hearth. Convinced now that Germany is on the brink of collapse, Stalin demands attack after attack. Every remaining reserve is thrown into the fray as he seeks to drive the invader from Soviet territory. But it is impossible. Their superhuman effort has taken its toll, and the armies are exhausted. But Stalin's profligacy cannot spoil the joy of civilians rescued from Nazi rule. These modest scenes of gratitude and celebration are the very first signal to the world that Germany is not invincible and that the Soviet Union is not vanquished. It is a message to warm the souls of millions still under the hammer of occupation. And it brings good cheer to Muscovites as they celebrate the new year. Spared the horrors of Leningrad's ghastly hunger, Moscow can pause a moment from the struggle. An air of festive bustle fills the streets as citizens prepare to savor the miracle that has preserved them. It might almost be a normal festive season, except that these trees will be decorating bomb shelters, and they can expect no luxuries beyond a few wistful moments relaxing to the strains of a pre-war balladeer. But while Moscow's children play in the shelters, the war is still killing their fathers. These parcels are for frontline troops. They must be sent quickly because the Supreme Commander has ordered new offensives along the whole of the Eastern Front. He no longer feels the need to concentrate everything around Moscow. He expects total victory on every sector at once. And he expects it quickly. Dissipated by Stalin's overreaching ambition, the offensives make only trivial gains and at a dreadful cost. And by the time its attacks peter out in February, the Red Army has lost almost 1 million troops in the battle for Moscow. That grim statistic will be hidden from the Soviet people for half a century. But the appalling evidence of Nazi occupation is clear for all to see. The retreating Germans have savaged everything in their path. Burning, destroying indiscriminately. But they take special care to defile any symbol of hated Slav culture. In the town of Klin, they've wrecked Tchaikovsky's house and burned the score of his Sixth Symphony. The composer's house before the invasion. And this was Leo Tolstoy's estate, Yasnaya Polyana, before the Germans came. The room where War and Peace was written has been converted as a barracks. But the house is now a smouldering ruin. And the writer's grave has been desecrated to make way for dead Germans. Churches are a favorite target. Wherever the Wehrmacht has passed by, shrines of Orthodox worship are reduced to rubble, their most sacred icons shot to ribbons, and the ruins of churches become killing grounds as the Nazis maraud through the Western USSR, displaying their special talent for mass murder, destroying the lives of ordinary men and women. Innocent people, like Mrs. Nikolaeva's schoolteacher husband from Mozhaisk, a little town to the west of Moscow.
I had been living in Mozhaisk with my husband for 30 years. We worked together. He worked in the secondary school number 1 as a teacher of mathematics. On the third day after the Germans occupied Mozhaisk, he was walking